got that start-stop technology too. I'm not a big fan of it. I usually turn it off. I'm gonna turn it off. Guys, if you haven't already seen the thumbnail, we are reviewing a very special car. The Mercedes Benz S350d. So guys, if you don't know, I'm Serge. Thank you so much for watching. We like to review cars here and we try to get as many special cars as possible. This is a 2016 S350d and it is very well optioned. So we're going to go through all the features in the car. We're going to go through all the optional features the car can get, and we're going to go through all the options that this car has. We're going to see how the car feels, how it drives, and we're just going to get an overall feel and see exactly what you get for the money that you're spending. Now let's just jump straight into it, guys, and let's go for a drive. Today I am driving the Mercedes Benz S350d, and all I have to say is that this car is just something special. The way it drives, the way it feels, the way it looks and sits on the road, like the presence is so subtle, yet it just doesn't stop people from turning heads. And just the way this car feels on the road, like there's no, like, the best way I can describe it, it's as if you're like floating on a cloud while you're driving. It's so smooth. And for those people that say, yeah, you know, but all the Mercedes, they all look alike, the C-Class, the E-Class, the S-Class, that may be true, but nothing drives like the S-Class. It's just so good. Anyways, guys, today we're going to be talking about all the specifications of this car, all the features, all the options. Now we're going to talk about all the options you can get on this car and all the options that this car has, which isn't too many, but it's still well over $230,000 on road here in Australia. So we are driving the S350d, and now essentially there was about 4 different variants. There was the S350d, there was the S400, S560 and S560L, which is a long wheelbase, and those were the ones that were here in Australia, which were available. Now I know in Europe there was a lot more options, but obviously here in Australia we can't get them. Anyway, so the S350d was a 3-litre turbo diesel which was producing 190 kilowatts and 600 newton meters of torque. Now it needs every single power it can get because it weighs 2 tons. This car has a 9-speed automatic, which you don't even feel the gear changes. They are so smooth, and you do get paddle shifts, so if you do want to play around with the gears, you can. Obviously this is far from a race car, but it doesn't stop from getting up and going, that's for sure. Like 0 to 100 is 6.8 seconds. In a 2-ton car, in a 2-ton luxury saloon car, like, that's quick. 6.8 seconds. In a car like this. Some other stats on this car, it's got so many features. It's got air suspension, and that is the biggest contributor in how this car feels on the road and why it's so smooth. And it maintains control of the car when you're going around the corner to try and stay as level as possible, to avoid a lot of roll, to make sure, like now we're going around a corner, and of course there's going to be that little bit of roll, which you'd expect, so you know you don't feel too stiff on the car, but it is just so smooth, and it picks up speed so quickly. Like, you don't have to put your foot hard down. Like, that was there, that was not even putting my foot half down, and it just gets up and goes straight into the speed limit like that. Now what's awesome in this car is the 2 big 12.3 inch screens. Now Look at that, one there, one in front of us. And now, really, like that main screen there, that's for the navigation, that's for your Bluetooth, for your media, for your maps. Like now, if I was to put on the maps, like have a look at that, look how like clear that is, it's incredible. And the screens in front of you, that's your digital display. So that's your odometer on the left hand side and your rev counter on the right hand side. Now you can even have your digital speedometer in the middle, and it's just such a pleasure because it's so big. You can see it straight in front of you, and it just makes the whole driving experience so much nicer. Not for any other reason than the dash has a very unified look. So you just feel part of the car. It's incredible. And the finish, like the finish of the fans, the wood grain finish here, the clock even, it's so well thought of. And the steering wheel, of course, you know, how the steering wheel feels in your hand. And what's so cool is that behind these digital displays is the ambient lighting. So the ambient lighting actually, like the lighting actually comes up from behind the screens. And driving at night, you see all the color illuminated behind the screen, and obviously down by your feet and down by the door sills, like all under here is all ambient lighting. It's the level of detail that goes into this car. Stuff like on the windshield, there's a little logo, and it's Carl Benz's signature, and it's in the driver's. You can actually see it from where you sit. Something as tiny as that just makes such a difference. Now, in terms of options, there's over 20 options you can get on an S-Class. Now, a few of them came standard, especially here for the Australian market, so that's why the base price was a lot more. So the base price actually starts at $220,000. But stuff like the sun protection package, which is the electric rear blinds for the back window and for the side windows, that was an option. And you know, Mercedes does not give away their options price list too easily, so I can't go into detail of how much these cost. But you can imagine that by the time you put on a few options that you'd like, it adds up really quickly. So another option that this car has is the AMG line, which means that the car gets this nice AMG, this nice beefy steering wheel, sports pedals, 20-inch alloys. Now the car originally came with 18-inch alloys, which probably made for a smoother ride, but I have to say now we're driving on 20s and it's just gliding. It's just gliding, and it's quiet and it's smooth, and it's exactly what you'd expect out of an S-Class. So the AMG line came with the 20s. It also came with cross-drilled brakes, so just to make sure that when you are racing people, your brakes are nice and cool. Out of an S-Class, is that really necessary? Well, I guess because these cars in Europe will be doing a lot bigger speeds than, a lot faster speeds than here in Australia. I guess that's probably a good thing to have. The car also has the heads-up display as well, the 360-degree camera. So what that means is when I put the car into reverse, it's not only going to show me the reversing camera, show me an aerial view of the car, and once I turn the wheel, it'll actually show me where I'm going. And what's cool is, if you're going forward, you can press that button and the front camera comes on. And what's cool is the front camera is actually hidden in the adaptive radar part of the grille. Other features, so like the driver assistance package, now they actually came standard on the Australian models, and what that actually means is it's got a lane keeping system, it's got the Distronic system, so it keeps it's called the radar cruise control, keeps your distance away from the person in front of you. This one's even got the DTR Plus steering, so it actually keeps you in the center of the lane. So if I start veering off, well, that didn't work. Wait, so if I set my cruise control on now for 58 kilometers per hour, here we go. The steering wheel is literally steering itself. Now, obviously, you gotta keep your hands on the wheel at all times when you're driving. However, your grip does not have to be immense on the steering wheel for it to sort of, you know, take control of itself. It's really good, and it even works around the roundabouts. There are a lot of cars that have this system, but it will not work around the roundabout just because the radar loses sight of the person in front of you. That's so good. It's so smooth, so smooth. Now, at the time, you could get a few more features. Now, something like the warmth comfort package that you can get on the car, you get a heated steering wheel, seat heating plus for the driver and passenger. For the outside 2 seats at the back, seat heating plus and electronic memory seats. And most importantly, you get a heated console to make sure that your forearm never gets cold. Like, it's just incredible. All these options that you can get on this car. Now, obviously, this car does not have that option because we're in Gold Coast here, a beautiful sunny state of Queensland. And this option obviously is not something that's needed particularly. Now, at the time, you could get a few more features, such as the exclusive package. They use Napa leather. For the map holders, they use Napa leather as well, which is the best of the best for your map, which no one really has anymore. But it just means that your car is just on that next level. It also got a microfiber roof lining and a stainless steel boot liner for the ultimate in luxury. Now the options that you can get were like the keyless go package, which means that you got keyless entry, keyless start. That was standard in Australia. The car even gets soft closing doors. So what that means is, if you don't close your door all the way, the car will pull the door in and shut it for you. Also stuff like the electric memory seats. Obviously this car got it as well. Now what's cool about these seats is, like a lot of Mercedes, you can actually do them straight from the door. And now you've got buttons here for up to 3 seat memories. You've also got the option to do seat cooling and seat heating for the driver and passenger. But what's awesome is, from my driver's seat, I can actually control the passenger seat. So what that means is I press that button here at the end and I can actually control the passenger seat. So if the passenger in the back wanted more space, I can just go ahead and move that seat forward and back to make sure that people in the back are more comfortable. Okay, so now we're in the back of the car, and look at all the luxury you have. Look at this little pillow that they give to you. Like, it's just, you can fall asleep in this car. Anyways, have a look at the seat functionality here. So we've got all electric seating here. So we've got headrests. We can go higher and lower. Now the back, watch this. We can go forward if we don't want to recline and sleep. I have no idea who would like to sit like this, but surely there's someone. Now let's go back. You have little air vents at the back here as well. Obviously to keep the airflow going, and you got air vents underneath the driver and passenger seats too. Now look at this, look at the base of the seat. So you can actually see how it's just coming forward and sort of like reclining me backwards. Now in terms of sound systems, this car actually got a 13 speaker Burmeister sound system. You could option it up with a greater sound system, also Burmeister, but 24 speakers. And then it got a 1500 watt system, 1540 to be exact. And now I haven't heard that sound system, but apparently it's just a thing of beauty. Oh, it's so smooth. You know what I love about the S-Class? It's like you're separate to the world. And like now I'm driving without music on, and you can hear a touch of the road noise. And as you'd expect it, you know, it's got 20-inch alloys and can't be silent. However, I can't hear other cars' engine noises. I can't hear anything but myself. And so if I was to whisper and talk to you like this, instead of trying to scream to you like I always do in every other car, you could hear me, and I can be calm and I can be peaceful. I could almost go for a snooze. But that's the difference between the S-Class and every other car model out there. It's a thing of beauty. It's a joy to drive. Guys, that's a wrap. We've arrived at our destination here at the Versace Hotel. Anyways, that is just a most beautiful car, the Mercedes Benz S350. Look how nice that looks. And amongst its rivals there, some more beautiful cars. One day we're going to be reviewing those guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. I love interacting with you guys. Love to hear your thoughts. If you got any questions, happy to answer them. All in all, I absolutely love this car. It's just so beautiful to drive. It's so feature full packed. It's got all the necessities that you'd want in the car, and it's just so nice to drive and so beautiful to look at. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time. What I love most is the Mercedes emblem which sticks out from the front of the bonnet. How can you not feel like you've made it with that Mercedes emblem just sticking out of the bonnet? The swivel wheel